Hi, I'm Ken,
And I'm Doreen.
and this is Traub Travels. We want to welcome you to our channel today. We're going to be sharing with you some of the items that we have, our must-haves, things you might want to take with you when you're cruising. Before we get started, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the like button so you can see when we put out new material. If you find this video informative or helpful, give it a like. All the items we talk about today are linked in the description below, as well as on our webpage that is also linked in the description below. So let's go into it.
First up today, we have the towel bands. The towel bands come in this neat little carrier, and they look like this. And they are to go around your towel that is sitting on your lounge chair when you're sitting by the pool or at the beach, to hold your towel on there because the winds do get up, especially on the cruise ship. And this will hold that towel on there, so if you get up and move, your towel's going to stay where it's at.
And that does come in very handy if you're bringing one of the Carnival or any cruise lines towels with you. If you don't return those, then you're going to get charged for them. So you want to make sure you bring them back on the ship. It's one less expense. Unless you want to keep the towel, then that's up to you there.
So, towel bands.
It's an essential, especially in the sunnier regions. If you're down in the Caribbean, Bahamas, down Mexico, is your sun hats that help keep your sun off. I forgot mine on our last cruise, but they do come in quite handy. As you can see, it's got a nice wide brim on there to keep the sun off your face. Um, each one of us have it. Works great to keep the sun there off. We also have water shoes. I definitely like those to wear, especially in the sand. Matter of fact, we're dropping sand out as we're showing them off here. These are the ones, they come in handy. They got a nice hard sole on the bottom. So for walking on the sidewalk down, especially as you're coming from the ship down to the beach there, they'll come in handy there for that.
And the sole is really thick. I know it's hard to see it there, but it is really thick and it's very sturdy. So that does help whenever you're walking, especially on concrete, things like that. So if you're walking around, doing shopping, right there at the port or something like that, these would be perfect for that. If you're headed to the beach or coming back from the beach, that would be great.
Next up, and this actually probably could have gone towards the beginning of the grouping, because these, as you're packing, you're going to want these on your suitcases. Most of the time, you can print out your luggage tags for the ship, but they are paper. They say you could staple them on there, but very easy to get torn. So what we found, and they come in very handy, is these little luggage tag pouches right here. They do come with a removable band there so that you can attach those onto your suitcases. They just screw right on, so they're not going anywhere once you attach them on there. Kind of like laminating them, but it's a very secure pouch to fold up your luggage tag in to attach on there, and then you don't have to worry about them being lost. Depending on how much luggage you're bringing with you, you can get a couple of these sets, one for your luggage, but we also go ahead and put them on our carry-on, so if they get sat down somewhere or misplaced, then they can get to our room also.
Yes, and these are Carnival specific ones because that's the cruises that we have gone on. There are other cruise line specific ones as well, and each of the cruise lines, their tags are going to be just a little bit different. So theirs might be a little bit thinner or whichever, so you could probably still use the same ones, but they might not fit exactly the same way in there. So if you wanted different ones for the different cruise lines, you could do that, or you could use the same ones for all of them.
So the next thing we have is waterproof phone pouches. It does rain quite often down there, so when you're carrying your phones around, whether you're taking pictures, doing video, you want to have something you can keep your pouch or your phone from getting wet on there. They do seal on there so that water does not get in there. It actually, these ones came with some like cotton paper, so when you first get them, you can put that in there, put it under the water to test and make sure, and you'll find that it does not get wet. I will go ahead and share some video right after this section here some of the video I took our first cruise when we used these, where I used it under the water. Worked really well. Very similar to using it for snorkeling, so it came in very handy.
And you can also put like your sail and sign card, your ID, your cash, whatever. You could put that in there as well to keep all of that dry whenever you're out and about. If you're going to the beach or if you're just going to the pool and you want to keep it all dry, you can put all that in there as well, and it all fits and it will, all stay dry. So
one of the other things we liked about this pouch too is with putting your phone in there, especially if you're going to use it up under the water, it is touchscreen friendly. So you do have to kind of push a little bit on there, but you don't have to take it out to hit your buttons for recording and stuff like that on there.
Okay, next up, we have some passport books. And now I'm not for sure that we got them on Amazon, so we're gonna link something that's similar on there. But these have been handy for us because it holds your passport. And ours have these other little things over here so that you put like a credit card or your ID and things as well in there. And then it also has a place for your vaccine card. So you could put all of that in there and have it all in the same spot. That is especially handy for whenever you're checking in for your cruise, as well as, just so that you know where everything is. It's all in one spot whenever you're, looking for something on your cruise, or if you're going to get off at a port and you need something from this, it's all in the same area and you can just grab it and put it in your bag and take it with you. So a different one, but something similar will be linked below.
So the next item that we have is a motion sensor nightlight. This particular one does have a USB cord with it. I don't have that out, but it does allow you to have that on. Comes in very handy in the bathroom since there's no lights out there, especially if you have an interior room. It'll come in very handy because there's no light getting in there. The motion sensor helps when you go into the bathroom. It'll come on. And it's a great option to keep from tripping over some things on there.
It does sit in this little thing and it moves around too. And you could get more than one of these and put one in the bathroom and one in the room, because when it's very dark like that, you might trip over something going to the bathroom in the room. So you might want more than one of these.
And it is, as far as where she was talking about it sitting, it is a magnetic. So that way, once you put it where you want it, the angle, it stays put.
Yes. It's a neat little light.
So the next item, since we're talking about the lights in the bathroom, is Poo-Pourri. This is definitely an essential on a cruise ship. The ventilation is not the best on there. And if you've ever been in a camper or anything like that, then you know that smell kind of lingers afterwards. So you just, a couple of sprays. This particular bottle we bought before our first cruise, January of 2023. We've been on 2 cruises with it and still probably got about half of a bottle. Mm-hmm. It's called Royal Flush, and this one is eucalyptus and spearmint. They have lots of different scents that you can get. Highly recommended because when you got to go, you got to go. And as humans, we all got to go at some time. So our next item, again, now since we're kind of in the bathroom area, is kind of an odd item that wouldn't be thought of to be used for this, but is a hanging shoe organizer. You can actually use this. They've got some that are, like this one is a plastic one. They have some that are mesh on there, work just as well. They come with the little hangers to hang over the edge of the your door, whether it be the bathroom door, whether it be a closet door. And you can use that for storing all your odds and ends. We use it for medicines in there, sunscreen, just to keep it out of the way so we don't have to try to find spots for it. What else will we put in there?
We put anything in there that would fit in the hole that needed to have some place to, stick it. we could even put like the water shoes in there.
So our next item that we have up is, unless you're on a Disney cruise, we won't go into that discussion, but if you've followed the news lately, you know what's going on with Disney. But on the Carnival cruises, they're still welcome, and that is the cruising ducks. These are just a few of the ones we have. We actually have assortment that came in the set that we had. I think it came in about 100 ducks in the box.
Yes, there's 100 ducks in this package.
And then separately had to get the tags. These ones are more for Carnival, as you can see on there. It does have the Carnival tail on there, but they do have Royal, they have Princess, whatever type of cruise, you can get different ones. They come with the rubber bands to attach them onto the ducks. They're great to hide, they're great to find. Not that we have found, I think I found one in the 2 cruises we've been on so far, but the kids love to look for them. And when you see people out with those ducks, they're going crazy. They're like, "Ooh, you just hit ducks! I gotta go get off this floor and go look for them."
It's fun to hide them because you think about the little kids looking for the ducks. And the tags, you can put those on there if you want to, but if you want to just hide some ducks, just hide some ducks. We put our social media things on there for, like YouTube and Facebook and things like that, so that people can find us. But, we don't think that you have to do that. You can just hide the ducks. The kids love to find the ducks. And like he just said, adults like to find the ducks too. So
Yeah, and you can also, if you don't want to get tags, there's plenty of room on the bottom. You can just put your name on there. Some people just like to see how far these travel, because normally what you do when you find them is you'll find them and you can either keep them or hide them somewhere else, but take your picture with them and post it on social media and just see how many people find it and where they travel to.
yep, it's fun to keep up with.
So the next item, that's an essential for hanging things around. Most of the ships do have magnetic walls. I will get the words out here. So they do have these magnets. You do want to there's different types of them. There are stronger ones than others, so you do want the stronger ones on there. As you can see, I've got a whole group of them here that are hanging on there. The lighter ones are good for like your lanyards if you have them, your phone cases that we showed you earlier, stuff like that. But the heavier ones are needed for most bigger things.
We hung everything from our lanyards to our jackets and our backpacks. Their backpacks were the smaller backpacks, so they weren't heavy backpacks, but we hung everything from, one to the other in there. So it was, a jacket was pretty heavy. We had to have the heavier ones for that, but we hung lots of different things on those hooks. So, and that just helps keep your cruise cabin a little bit neater so that you don't have things laying around everywhere. Because if you're anything like us, we have things everywhere if we don't have some place to put it. So we put those hooks everywhere and hung things on them and used the bathroom over the door hanger thing to put things in, and try to just use things like that to keep from having a bunch of things laying around on the desk or the little counter space that you do have. So
the next thing we have in way of packing that we found very useful are these compression bags. They come different sizes that you can get to put into your suitcases, and they just help compress down that, because obviously when you're on a cruise, especially when you're on longer cruises, you don't have a lot of luggage space. If you're flying, you're very limited to weight and number of suitcases. So you want to be able to pack as much as you can in as little space as possible. They have a double zipper on there, so one side, part of it will actually close it, and then the other part is to compress it down.
So this is how it will look whenever you put something in it and just zip it up. And then whenever you compress it down, you do this and it pulls more of the air out. It helps whenever I don't do it so that it gets caught in there. But it pulls more of the air out, so you can see that it's compressed down here. So it pulls more of the air out and compresses your clothes or whatever you've got in there down some more. And then you have more room in your luggage to put more things. As if you needed room for, or needed to have an excuse to put more things in your luggage, right?
It comes in really handy of being able to compress it down though on your way back, because if you're going to the Bahamas, you're going to come back with souvenirs. You got to come back with shirts and such. We've come back with shirts, with bags, with keychains.
Lots of souvenirs.
So this next step is not really a requirement, but came in very handy for us when you see a lot of these type of things on the cruises, and that is a personalized door magnet that made with our name on there and our Traub Travels, and we just hang that on the door. Again, most of the doors are magnetic. If you don't have a strong enough magnet, like we were just on the Carnival Valor, the door was not as strong for it, so we put it right next to the door on the wall there. Comes in handy with decorating your door, because all the doors start to look alike as you're going through there. And if you're at a late night show, had a few drinks, sometimes it's, okay, which door was mine again? And you're trying to find it on there.
So next up is the shoe bag. And, you know, whenever I ordered these shoe bags, somebody over here decided, he was like, what in the world are you ordering shoe bags for? But the shoe bags is holding all that sand from those shoes over there that he was pouring all over the place a few minutes ago. That's one of the things. So for the shoes, really, you know, that's what you want to have a shoe bag for. But also another bag that doesn't have a bunch of sand in it. So you can put lots of things in these shoe bags. And they have the ties where you can just squeeze it together, and you've got a bag to put stuff in to keep it from going all over your suitcase, going all over whatever bag you have, that type of thing. We put lots of different things in there. It would even be good for like the little cruising ducks. If you needed a bag to put those in until you got on the ship, you know, there were a lot of these in this package, and we used it for the shoes as well as many, many other things. So the shoe bags are a must-have for us.
So the next thing, and you may have also seen this in the news recently, a lot of the cruises, especially Carnival, have moved to candy straws. They've gone away from the plastic straws due to environment, which makes sense. Some people like the candy straws. I personally like them. Others do not at all. So what you can get is these travel straws on there. Doreen's going to open one up here so you can see it.
So you've got a little case, and you've got the straw, and the straw is extendable. So you extend it out, and the neat thing about it is that it has its own little extendable cleaner so that you can clean it in your cabin. Clean it, put it all back in there, collapse it all back down, put it back in your little case, and you can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your bag that you take with you. You can even take it and put it on your belt.
So it's got the keychain on there so you can clip it wherever you need to.
Yes, it's easy to take with you. You can reuse it all over the place, and you don't have to use the candy straw if you don't want to, or the paper straw that falls apart.
I think these came, what, about 4 in a pack or something like that?
Yes, there was 4 of these in a pack. So if you're a family of 4, all 4 of you have one.
So the next thing is more for security. You can use this whether you're staying at the hotel the night before the cruise or on the ship itself. Not that we've had any problems with security on there. Some people like the extra safety on there. And that is just a portable door lock. Very easy to use. The one end clips in the door frame. The latch, the other end then clips in. So when it's locked down, when you close your door, if someone tries to open it, this is not going anywhere. You're not going to get that door open until you remove it. So you can use that again. I'm going to elbow drain here in a minute. At your hotel room, on your cabin, Again, we've not had any problems with security or anything like that, but some people do like to be a little more secure than others. The other thing that we have gotten, speaking of luggage, as we were doing earlier, is air tags. These you can get different ones. These ones were a 4-pack that we got. They do work with both iPhone and I believe also the Android, but I know iPhone because that's what we have with the Find My devices. You hook those up. They do have a watch battery in there so they can be replaced very easily. You turn them on, you put them in your suitcases, and you can pretty much see where your suitcases are. Not exactly in the exact point, but you can see, yep, it's made it on the ship. No, it hasn't. So you can track where your suitcases are, at least while you're in port, because obviously once the ship gets underway, you start switching into airplane mode so you don't get tracked with data. But this will at least help you find, just like you do with on a plane even, that it's traveling there to your location. The next thing, this is one of my favorite things. Drain has not gotten into this much, but I really enjoyed it on our previous cruises, is a snorkel mask. You can get these. Most of the ports that you go to will rent those out, but for what you can rent one time, you can purchase on Amazon, Walmart, anywhere like that. We'll have, again, link to this one in the description. So comes apart the breathing apparatus is a one-way valve on there, so the water doesn't get in there. It just snaps right in place. This one is a full face mask on there for snorkeling, and one of the things I do like about this is it does have the spot on here if you have a GoPro, we actually have kind of a knockoff one that we'll show you in a later video, but it'll attach right on there so you can video while you're snorkeling on there. And this one also came with, as you saw me taking out the mesh bag, for traveling with that on there. The final item in this video that we don't have out with us because it's attached to our stuff is both of us do wear CPAPs. So we actually do have the medical tags on there with our address to get it back in case it gets lost or anything. Remember, if you are traveling with a CPAP or anything like that, oxygen, you do have to have that on carry-on. You cannot pack that in your suitcases, and you want to keep that tagged in case it does get lost. But you do have to carry that with you on your carry-ons as you get onto the ship.
Yes, and so those medical tags will be linked below with everything else. We just don't have those out here to show you in the video.
So that is all of our packing and room type stuff that we're going to show you at this time. Our next video will actually be more on the electronic side because we do have quite a bit of those that we travel with. So that will be our next video that'll come up next after this to show you those things on there.
Yes, so be looking for that next, and we will see you soon.
And remember, if you do like and want to find this information, do like and subscribe to our channel so you can see where we're traveling to next.